cheeks.
Innocent as
I'm just stuffing his cheeks.
I can hear it.
I think it's the same one that keeps coming back.
Yeah, we must go spit it up somewhere.
Stuffs his cheeks and then he goes off somewhere and
Yeah.
I don't know if he eats them or
Well, I bet he's done it.
stores them somewhere.
Yeah.
But he got a cheek full, doesn't he? Look at those cheeks. And there he goes. He's back filling up again.
Already? And his cheeks were
He
there?
must be storing them somewhere.
If you could see where he took them. Must not be his fault.
Go back and follow him.
To follow him and get it and bring it back. And we have to keep feeding him.
Mainly thanks to this man, Pope Gregory IX. This 13th century pope produced a papal anti-cat edict. It accused cats of being in league with Satan. Because what the pope said was the word of God, God hated cats. The solution to the satanic cat menace was simple and straightforward. Kill them all.
In late medieval Europe, there were festivals formed around the torturing and killing of cats. And of course, when tortured, they made to sadus a very satisfying amount of racket.
So what was it about these relatively harmless So domestication. This essential wildness may explain in part why cats are not trainable in the way dogs are. Dogs want to please their owners. They are what is known as hypersocial. Cats don't really care what their owners want.
It's a lot more difficult to train a cat compared to a dog because dogs are specifically selected for their training. This is meowing manners.
Samantha is the manager of a traveling troupe, or more accurately, line of performing cats.
Most of the training happens in here.
He's in the house.
Cats are brilliant. People really underestimate the brilliance of a cat. By training them, they get to use their brain. They have to figure out what it is that I want from them.
To train her cats, Samantha uses a method called operant conditioning, also known as clicker training.
This is the target stick, so he was trained to jump up to wherever I pointed the target stick. And once he had all four paws up on the barrel, I just click and treat. The clicker acts as a bridge or a marker to let the cat know that they've just done a behavior that's going to give them a reward. Once the behavior's learned, I no longer need to.
Cruising through the clouds high over the African continent, a charter plane is on course with some unusual passengers. The smell is overpowering, and the floor is carpeted with some of the most effective and prolific killers in the animal world. 14 African wild dogs. Heavily sedated, they're on a 500-mile journey from a reserve in South Africa across the border to Mozambique and their new home, Gorongosa National Park, a protected wilderness on the rebound after a tumultuous past. Waiting to greet them are Antonio Tenekas Paulo, the park veterinarian, and Paula Boulay, Gorongosa's resident carnivore expert. By this time, the wild dogs have been sedated nearly 12 hours. They're a tough bunch, but it's important to move quickly and get them safely to their prepared enclosure. African wild dogs haven't been seen in Gorongosa for at least 30 years. Tragic history. Gorongosa is still trying to recover from a brutal war that broke out in the 1970s. For over 15 years, fighting between government troops and opposition armies raged across Mozambique, devastating the country. The human death toll has been estimated as high as 1 million. Much of Gorongosa's 1,400 square mile wilderness fell under rebel control and was the scene of fierce fighting. Once one of the most celebrated and species-rich national parks in Africa, by the time the smoke cleared over 20 years ago, less than 10% of Gorongosa's large mammals
Went right up behind your hindies,
and poaching.
turned around.
Aerial surveys returned some startling estimates. The elephant population dropped from around 2,500 to about 250. Hippo, 3,500 to less than 100. Other animals fared even worse. 3,500 zebra, gone. 6,500 wildebeest, gone. 14,000 buffalo, nowhere in sight. The devastation was so complete, many believed Gorongosa was finished as a wilderness. But there was one reason for hope. The extraordinary landscape was still intact.
What makes Gorongosa really special is the diversity of habitats. You can go from savanna woodlands to miombo woodlands to open floodplain to lake to riverine to gorge and mountain rainforest. And you have that mosaic, that complexity of habitats that really fosters diversity.
A public-private partnership formed the Gorongosa Restoration Project to try and salvage the park, recruiting an international team of scientists to lead the effort.
When the Gorongosa project started, it was basically starting from scratch. The first thing was the recovery of the species that managed to survive, but in a very
Clear about Gorongosa's herbivores. Peace is giving them a chance to recover. In fact, their total number is approaching pre-war levels. To the untrained eye, it looks like paradise. But for Rob, there have been signs that the recovery may be veering out of balance.
For me, as an ecologist, the first time I came to Gorongosa, things just seemed off. The wildlife is recovering, but the abundance of different species is vastly different than it was before.
Decade signals picked up by a handheld antenna.
Okay. That's really strong now. Maybe like 1 o'clock. He's going in now, so I wonder if he's like on the mound or something. He's probably behind somebody. Actually, maybe straight ahead.
They give you the slip. They like sit on top of the termite mound, and when you approach from one direction, they basically slide down off the backside. It's super annoying. We're no longer in the bush. So we see animals.
Oswald Schmitz of Yale University studies fear in controlled settings, using smaller and much less exotic species than wild dogs. His breakthrough experiments with spiders and grasshoppers were among the first to reveal the surprising effects predators can have on ecosystems.
So there was this assumption that the predators don't kill enough to actually have a huge impact on the populations of these animals.
Schmidt set up several boxes to compare. She seems to have abandoned the den.
At some point she left and never went back. It's like, okay, what happened here? It was too soon, you know. They spent months on it then. And we began searching for evidence as to why.
A camera trap placed near the den entrance captures Paola as she discovers the cause of the problem.
I wanted to go check out what was going on, but I was thinking maybe we could fish out a little bit more evidence to suggest that the pups were in fact in a den. When I stick my...
Will take down at least 2 antelope a day. Measuring the impact of added fear is much trickier, but ecologists are finding ways. Studies covering the entire range of the animal world, from spiders to sharks to house cats, indicate that fear's influence can be multifaceted and include a surprising indirect effect. A lower birth rate among prey.
Because animals prioritize survival over anything else, they're going to be looking for predators if they think that there are predators in the environment. Having
These grasshoppers. The African wild dogs in Gorongosa are certainly eating well. The pack has its pick of prey to feast on, and their healthy diet pays off. Ten months after Bera's first litter of pups was lost to a python, camera traps record the dawn of a new era. With the addition of 11 newborns, the wild dog population is nearly doubled. Then, a surprising development. A second female delivers a litter of her own, and her 8 pups are welcomed into the pack by Bera and raised along with the others. And pups in the park just keep on coming. 4 adults split off and form their own pack, and its alpha female delivers another 8 pups. With these 3 litters, the wild dog population of Gorongosa has jumped from 14 to over 40. Within months, the youngsters are joining the hunt, and the packs are carving out their place in the park's ecosystem.
They're making kills daily, sometimes twice daily, and they're feeding on species that lions don't typically feed on. So,
Head veterinarian Temekis Paula has witnessed clear changes in Gorongosa since the wild dog's release.
Algumas coisas estão a mudar em termos de comportamento. Os animais agora já estão a ser muito vigilantes, porque já estavam simplesmente habituados aos leões, mas agora não. Já são um pouco vigilantes. Já podemos ver o caso das embabadas. Alguns casos já começam a tomar os seus devidos lugares, que é nas florestas, em áreas um pouco fechadas, o que antes não acontecia.
Temekis' first-hand observations are backed up by the satellite data flowing into the Pringle lab.
You know, and they're hitting all of the major habitat types from, you know, this really dense pocket of sand forest down here, the more sort of intermediate savanna, you know,
threatened by lions and the home ranges established by the wild dogs, predators are now covering over 1,000 square miles of Gorongosa.
From the DNA in the dog's scabs, it looks like bushbucker about half of the diet at least. So how's that going to affect bushbucky? We think the first thing that happens is the bushbuck retreat from the bog bite. It's a trade-off between nutrition and the risk of being eaten yourself. So we could expect that, yeah, the nutrition.
What's up, guys?
A year after the first reintroduction, 15 more wild dogs arrive in Gorongosa, diversifying the gene pool and increasing the fear factor in the park.
Este é o momento crucial da nossa intervenção. Se continuarmos no mesmo caminho, podemos estar ao nível que estávamos há 20, 30 anos atrás. E ainda temos que continuar no mesmo passo para conseguirmos atingir este equilíbrio. Portanto, perseveramos.
Down the line, the Gorongosa Project hopes other members of its lost large predator guild can return, continuing one of the most ambitious restorations of this kind ever attempted. Hyenas won't be welcomed back until the wild dog and lion populations are more stable and better prepared to defend themselves against their natural enemy. But another iconic and essential predator, Navy tour group returning to camp spotted something just off the dirt road. A solitary male leopard roaming Gorongosa, perhaps in search of a mate.
That's the first confirmed sighting in more than a decade. So you can imagine the camp feeling at that point. But it was a very special moment. I think it also validates that if we protect this place, the species come back. But there's certain things you have to have in place before that can happen. And leopard was a sign of that.
To order this program on DVD, visit Shop PBS or call 1-800-PLAY-PBS. Episodes of Nova are available with Passport. Nova is also available on Amazon Prime Video.
watching movies without thinking about the story it reminded him of. I can't listen to certain songs and just sing the song entirely because the song keep playing and just putting dinner. And I can't go to concerts without having to get in my car crying. You should be there with me. Having come to terms with the last time I'll ever see my dad say I love you and I'm proud of you will be in my head from what I saw him a week before he died. What hurts me the most is that my sister got her chocolate bra from her. The innocence, that her innocence isn't a privilege anymore, but she gets to live for. She now has to live without having one last hug of him, that he wasn't there to see her graduate high school, that he won't be able to walk with her down the aisle on her wedding day, that she won't have the feeling of being dad's little princess anymore. That hurts me more than anything else. And it hurts me that at 17.
Well, I figured they'd find her guilty, and I didn't think she had a very good defense.
But a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 17 types of cancer, including certain early stage and advanced cancers. One of those cancers is early stage non-small cell lung cancer. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies before surgery when you have early stage lung cancer, which can be removed by surgery, and then continued alone after surgery to help prevent your lung cancer from coming back.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects.
Yeah, it would have scared you away, wouldn't it?
Ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true.
That it was the person ever was holding.